Hi, good morning. This is Tie Night for TK24 Sports. And yes, I'm back on the iMac using the dodgy iMac with the inbuilt camera. But we're here to talk about Leeds versus Arsenal. Leeds 1, Arsenal 4. The talking points, the aftermath, the no hold bars conversation. Let's just be real about it. Arsenal absolutely trouts Leeds, didn't they? They absolutely just gave them a whooping, exactly like I said they would do yesterday. But today, people, let's be real. I said Arsenal was going to win, and I was confident on that. And they've gone exactly where they needed to be in terms of points. Only 5 behind Chelsea, 4 in front of West Ham, which of course West Ham have games to play. What does this mean for Arsenal going forward? But most importantly, what does this actually mean for Leeds United going forward under Bielsa? Has the fairy tale run out, or is it just down to injuries? So we have to be fair on a couple of things. And it has to be fair, and we don't have to be fair on quite a lot of things, shall we say. Leeds were okay, but Leeds played exactly how I thought they would play. As I mentioned yesterday, Bielsa will just tell them, go and play the same way as you did against Man City. And then it was up to Arsenal to mix the cocktail of the poor performance against Everton and then the great performance against West Ham, mix them together, get that formula, and then go after Leeds and kick their backside and come back down south with 3 points and a merry, merry Christmas. It's the Leeds fans who's going to have a bad Christmas this year, that's for sure. They're going to have a bad Christmas. Not only do you have to deal with the coronavirus spreading, but now you have to deal with the lack of the amount of goals that are going in right now that you can't contain. It's also crazy to think. I'm just making people aware of a couple of things. It's actually crazy to think that at the start of the season, Arsenal lost the first 3 games, and I was one. I'm going to say it. I'm not going to be up here like I normally would be saying I was the first. I was one. I was one of the ones who were going, maybe Arteta needs to go. And then you get the winter break, and then you start thinking, do you know what? Give him a bit of time. We'll give him time because it's still not his team, and I recognize that. And then they brought in some players. They brought in players that people weren't too sure of. Now, even at the time, I didn't know too much about the players. I still picked them up because their job is different to our jobs. No, our regular jobs. I mean, this is my part-time gig that will become my full-time gig. Can you imagine doing your job and then you just getting hate every single day? I mean, hate. People going online, people saying you're rubbish, you're not worthy, the badge is too heavy for you. Talking about your parents, talking about your kids, your just yourself. There's people reaching out to you and just telling you all nasty things. How would that make you feel? So I thought about it, and as much as I'm critical of players, I'm constructive in what I try and say. And so when Arsenal brought these players in, I was like, okay, let's give them a fair shake. I saw a bit of Aaron Ramsdale before. I saw a bit. I wasn't too impressed, but I was impressed enough to think, you know what, within time, this guy could do something. And sometimes a move for someone just elevates your level to another place because you want to fit in. It's different for someone who's established, going from an established club to another established club, and then, finding their way again. But this time, these guys have just stepped up. They've stepped up more than what those senior players are. They've stepped up more than I would say, not what's required. They just stepped up. They're doing their job and more. They're carrying this club on their back. So we have to give the big praise to Aaron Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Ben White. I'll say Gabriel. He's been here for a couple of seasons, but we'll say Gabriel, Tierney, Tavares, Lokonga. Those guys have come in and transformed Arsenal. It's not just one player. It's all these players have come in and given Arsenal a lift. They've given Arsenal a back four you can look at and be proud of. A back four plus the goalkeeper. When the cross comes in, you're like, light work. The teams attack us. Sometimes you have to worry about Ben White saying, Ben, stop diving in, boys. Stop. I know you're a bit young, 23, 24. I know you're still young, but stop diving in, bro. You kind of stop that when you're in the academy. But you're still good. Footballing defender. And you got Gabriel, just tough as nails. Tomiyasu. This guy's built different. I mean, he's built just... you can't get rid of Tomiyasu, can you? But yet, let's go and get another right back to push this guy on. But it's not like, okay, let's don't get another right back. You got Cedric there, man. Let's keep Cedric, and that guy can deputize. That's my opinion on that one. Kieran Tierney, it's good because we always got worried. We always kept on saying that Tierney's got to be the captain. Tierney has to be the Arsenal captain. But what happens when Tierney always gets injured? Now we got Nuno Tavares and all those reports coming out, and people were saying, do you know what? He's nothing special. Tavares, he's kissing his dogs, and people didn't like that. People, listen, if you're a dog owner, that's like one of those mandatory things you kind of do. I don't have dogs. I don't kind of play those games. But Tavares has come in and he's done something special. He's doing something special when he plays. He has a little ricket in him, but he's got enough for him and for us to see there's something special. Sambi Lokonga, when, of course, Saka went out for injury, he paired up with Thomas Partey, and boy, can this guy play. I'm telling you, Pete, towards the end of the season, we're going to see more of Sambi. When Thomas Partey goes to the AFCON, should he go because of COVID, we're going to see so much more of him. Then we're going to be like, you know what? We've got something good here. And I believe now, the fact that we're in the top four, it shows what happens when you stick to your guns. It goes to show if you believe in something and you can make people believe, and we're not talking about us, the fans, we're talking about the players buying into Arteta's philosophy, we're seeing the rewards, and the rewards are paying off in dividends now. Top four, can you believe it? Top four. It sounds crazy to say that. I mean, you got to think nearly 5-6 seasons out of the Champions League, and then this is the first season that I can remember not having any European football. But then again, I'm 41 years old. I remember Arsenal when they weren't really playing in Europe that much. And I used to look back on envy saying, and it always used to be Manchester United, or sometimes it was Newcastle or Blackburn. And you'll sit there and go, I can't wait to see Arsenal in Europe, especially the top European league. And playing against like sort of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and AC Milan, and Juventus, and Inter. A couple of teams, just across Europe. I just want to see my team play against them. And then you get there and you play and you're used to European nights, you go away, and then you're like, this is just the norm. Arsenal in the Champions League, we're playing Ajax there, we'll whoop them, Spartak Moscow, Dynamo Kiev. You go to these places and you're beating them, Villarreal, Valencia, Real Betis. I've seen it, I've lived it all. I remember at the time when Arsenal was so good, they were almost as good as Barcelona, and people think I'm taking a piss when I say that. I'm serious. There were a point where Arsenal was good as Barcelona, Real Madrid, and AC Milan, and Juventus. They had the team. And boy, did our legs get taken away because we just dilly-dallied, as we know it, as we spoke about yesterday. But now what I'm talking about is this Arsenal team makes you wake up and just be happy. Yeah, we can lose a game, and everyone can lose a game, and we can lose our head over it. But watching them play yesterday, and I don't care if Leeds were depleted. Arsenal were just savage. The first half, they were just savage. They tore apart that Leeds team. Martinelli, my goodness, this guy, everyone knows the famous Martinelli goal at Stamford Bridge. He kind of miscontrolled it, as Rory's kind of pointed out a few times on his channel. He did miscontrol it, which is the truth, and Conte slipped, but you still got to put the ball in the back of the net. Make no mistakes about it. You still got to put the ball in the back of the net. That's his job. And he done his job then. And he done his job twice last night. He showed Lacazette what you're supposed to do. When you go on a one-on-one, you think the damn ball. You don't try and place it. You think it, you feint it, you think it, and the ball goes in the back of the net. I was up and what should I even say? I kind of done a male version of a twerk. I was up there, I was doing my thing, I was like getting into it. And that's just because, Martinelli got that spirit out of me. When the first shot we had with Lacazette and then Saka, I don't think he had a good game last night. I don't think he had a good game at all. And he missed it. He didn't anticipate that Lacazette was going to miss or have his body ready. And the ball comes, even on your right, your left, whatever. He could have taken a touch And then we adjusted and then started. It could have been 1-0. And I thought when we was missing early chances, I thought to myself, oh no, not tonight. Of all the nights, Leeds are going to go and they're going to score. And then they had that one chance. Remember, people? They had that one chance and it just went wide. And if you look back on the replay of that, Aaron Ramsdale is laughing when it went wide. Our goalkeeper is laughing, going, that's the only chance you're going to get tonight, brother. And you kind of squandered it. But we came through. The first goal, when you think about it, Lacazette was he the left back position? Because it was reversed. I'm trying to think. It was the left or right back position, but he dragged the defender out. Then the ball came to Saka, who everyone hates. I don't really hate. I think the guy is good. He's just misunderstood. Ball came to him, plays it through. Martinelli, this guy is so quick. On TV, you're thinking, yo, is Martinelli quick and these guys are slow, or these guys are quick but Martinelli is just that faster, come like Roadrunner. Goes through, left foot touch to bring on to the right, and I thought, oh no, he's miscontrolled again. It's bloody Chelsea all over again. Here goes another chance. Composes himself, keeper comes out, boom, dink. No, actually, that was 2-0, wasn't it? That was 2. The first goal, of course, comes from the right-hand side. Ball comes in, bit of a miscontrol, gives it to Saka. Yes, so it's on the right-hand side. Tomiyasu gives it to Saka. Saka does his thing. He was going for goal. Gives it to Laka. Laka doesn't get much rub of the green. Ball bounces out to Martinelli. Boom, right foot straight away. Oh my God! I think I screamed at that one, but the second goal is when I started doing that funky dance again. I was, doing my thing. I couldn't help myself. And that's 2-0. Then 3-0 come, of course, courtesy of Saka. A bit of a deflection. That's how it went in. But we'll stick on Saka. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed. I would rather have seen Pepe come on in the second half, but he brought on Smith-Rowe. The guy scores a goal. It is what it is, and we'll get into Smith-Rowe a bit later on. Saka, out of all the talent that we have there, all the young talent, he's not there yet. But we're put on that pedestal to say that he's the main man. He's not. But the compliment to him is that for what he's done in his career, in his early career, he's 19, nearly 20, he's built himself a reputation. Mark my words, I'm not as good as Saka. I'm not trying to say I'm as good as him. So again, this is the part where I say, if we're going to talk about a player, let's not be disrespectful. Let's just point out a few of the flaws as to why he's not that player yet. But he will be in 2 or 3 seasons from now. I think his technique is okay. He's not the great. His first touch is okay. It's not great. His killer instinct is okay, not great. His finishing is okay, not great, but you can't cross the ball. For love nor money, this boy can't cross the ball. And he's very one-footed. He has scored a few goals on his right, but he's very one-footed. I'm going to tell you who he reminds me of when he first burst onto the scene, which was Raheem Sterling. Now, when Raheem Sterling burst onto the scene, all pace, bit of power, but all pace, and everything else was just raw. And then look what Raheem Sterling has gone on to be. 100 goals in the Premier League from a wide position. Fantastic. Fantastic. And he's English as well. But who would I say? Creasha's on. Who would I say is the best player at the moment? Oh, geez. You know what? This is going to be divided, right? So a lot of people will turn around and say it's Smith-Rowe. But the way Martinelli is playing, people will say it's Martinelli right now. And okay. From what I'm watching now, I would still say Smith-Rowe. Martinelli gives me joy because this guy comes on, and people try and turn around and say, who makes me more excited? I would say I like watching Martinelli play because I don't know what the brother's going to do. This guy is just going to do something special. He gets the ball, and he's going to run at those defenders. He's not worried about a trick. He's not trying to go inside, outside, beat the man repeatedly. He's looking to do damage. He's looking to take your soul. You remember that game, Mortal Kombat? And, what's the guy? Not Shinobi. Shinobi's another game. I'm trying to think of the characters' names. And the one that just took your soul. Was it Raven or something like that? And he just took your soul. That's what Martinelli does. He takes your soul. He really does. If you watch him play, he takes people's souls. And he's so scary. Saka's not there yet. Saka's more of he's a good player, but he's not a soul taker yet. He's not an ankle breaker. You kind of get excited when Saka's on the ball, But then again, you don't know what the brother's going to do. So he does something, you're like, whoa, okay, I didn't see that one coming, because he's unpredictable. And unpredictable in a bad way, not in a good way. But if he fixes all these other things and he's still so young, my God. Arsenal, I'm telling you, Krisha, right now, I'm telling you, Arsenal are just playing on a different level. And some of these haters out there, these boo boys for Arteta, saying Arteta out, they've been playing too much FIFA and too much Football Manager. That's the damn problem. They're playing too much of video games to think that the video games is easy to play, so it's easy to transfer that into the real world. We're dealing with players, forget about the money, well, we can talk about the money. They're earning an excess amount of money per year. So if you think about the average wage is going to be $50,000 per week, the average person only earns about $27,000 per year. Imagine getting double and some per week guaranteed for the length of your contract. So whether that's 2, 3, 4, or 5 years without any other additional bonuses on top, you're going to be kind of some way, aren't you? So whether you play bad, it don't matter, you're still going to get paid. So for an athlete to be able to tune in, and then for the manager to get those players to tune in every day, every minute, every hour, every game, that's hard. I mean, and that's why I try not to be too critical by saying someone's got to get the sack. But sometimes if the manager's not getting the results out of the players, and sometimes you've got to turn around and say, listen, maybe it's time to go. Maybe it's just time to go. But one thing is for sure. Arsenal are doing good things at the moment. And Arteta's got to take a lot of credit and sometimes a lot of the blame as well. But also credit to his backroom team. Got to give credit to his backroom team as to what they have done as well, by sticking to this plan, by identifying where Arsenal were weak and now where Arsenal are strong. And I will say this again. It doesn't mean that Arsenal are better without Aubameyang. They just look better without Aubameyang. That's the difference. Lacazette is a player up front, like a Firmino does for Liverpool, where he sacrifices his game for the benefit of the team. Whereas we had to play towards Aubameyang's strength, which was, I'm not too sure, apart from scoring goals. Because Aubameyang can't hold the ball up. He's got a bad first touch. He can just about burst past players now with his pace. Just about. And he's only, 31, 32? Jamie Vardy's, 33, 34? And the guy still has pace to burn. So everyone is built differently, but Aubameyang doesn't really offer Arsenal anything up front to be worried about. Not even the, who else? When Aubameyang playing up front, I don't actually have confidence that Arsenal's going to win. That's the honest truth. There's no confidence no more that Arsenal are a threat with Aubameyang up front, because it's so easy to play against Arsenal. And this is what people need to actually see. Arteta tried so hard with Aubameyang. He gave him the captain's armband, but the alarm bells were there when Arteta kept on bringing him off. He was bringing the captain off. The guy that we pay 300, 350 a week, he was taking him off. Then when Lacazette comes on, we seem to play a bit better. And that was evidence last season against Chelsea when we had that famous victory. And I'm going to call it a famous victory because we were in a doghouse. But that victory was because of Lacazette. And then we went on to win some more games. Lacazette comes back into the fold. We win 2 on a bounce. Convincingly 2 on a bounce. And that's because Lacazette sacrifices his game to score goals in order for the team to win. And yet we can't give this man a contract. Lacazette makes our young guys look world beaters. Because if you watch Lacazette yesterday, he was unselfishly running everywhere. Right back, left back, defender, defensive midfield, centre mid, attacking mid, left wing, right wing. This guy was everywhere. That armband is not too heavy for him. That armband is just too light for him. The armband's floating up and he's just bringing it down saying, no, listen, you stay right here. Let me show you what it's all about. So any other striker that Arsenal now want to bring in has to do plus 10 of what Lacazette does. He's not just coming in to score goals. Lacazette is the glue. Odegaard goes missing once in a while. Lacazette steps in. That's the difference. Work rate is what's going to make this club great. Work rate is why we're in the top 4. Not by luck. It wasn't by luck. We're here now. But let's talk about Leeds. Leeds are ravaged. Their, squad is just in disarray. Pure injuries. Bielsa has to have a different style of playing. And people moan that Arteta only had one style of playing, one formation. Well, it's actually not true. But Bielsa has, and this is why Leeds are where they are. But then again, with the injuries, you can kind of make a little circumstances to turn around and say, well, maybe that's why Arsenal won 4-1 yesterday. And that's why Leeds also got battered by City 7-0 away from home. But it is what it is. Do we have to keep on talking about the injuries? It is what it is. You've got a squad. You've got professional players. You know, you give a player a contract that says professional on it. Guess what? You're a professional player. You're not a part-time player. So I don't have those excuses to turn around and say when people are injured and stuff like that, and we had injuries, so that's why, you know, it wasn't a fair fight. Listen, a fight's a fight, a game's a game. You turn up on the pitch, you're there to play. Make yourself a hero. Make yourself a well-known player afterwards. You know, this guy's out. I got my opportunity. I'm going to take him. And I'm playing against Arsenal on what? Sky Sports. Damn right, I'm going to show up. That's my attitude to things. That's my attitude. And when players are knocking on the manager's door and saying, I need minutes, I need time, I need game time, and then you get the game time and you don't take it, don't expect to get it again. Don't expect to get it again. And this is the difference of Arsenal. Aubameyang's gone. Lacazette knows he wants to potentially move should the contract not work out. He is taking his chance now to turn around and say, do you know what? I'm going to bet on myself. So any other suitors out there that I'm trying to get a better deal from, I'm going to watch how I'm playing. And even though it's the benefit to me, a benefit to the other clubs, a benefit to Arsenal, I win all round. Because I'm getting minutes, I'm playing my arse off, and I'm going to get a good contract, whether it's with Arsenal or the next club I go to. That's the difference. But Arsenal don't need to re-sign Lacazette. I'm going to say that much. They don't need to, because they might as well ride this performance out for now. So if he does go, we benefit from all the points and a couple of goals and assists that this man will give us. And then maybe bring on the Vlahovic that I've been saying that Arsenal need to go after, that everyone else has been saying. It's not like just me. Calvert-Lewin could come in. But that injury record, I'm just not too sure. And also with Vlahovic, he doesn't play the way that Lacazette plays. So I think we do need to retain actually Lacazette. I think we do. And I think we still need to go after Vlahovic, and then Aubameyang could go with Nketiah, and then Pepe can go as well. But what's your thoughts? The two people that are watching, what's your thoughts on what I'm saying right now? Who would you like to see Arsenal go after? And what do you think are you an Arsenal fan? I don't even know. You know, expose yourself. Are you an Arsenal fan? Are you a Liverpool fan, a Tottenham fan, or a non-fan of football altogether? What's your thoughts? I would love to know. I'm still waiting. Are you not tapping away? Come on, people, join in the conversation. There's only 3 of us today. Might as well make it fun while we're here. But what's the process from now for Arsenal? Where do Arsenal go? Where do they go from here? 5 points off Chelsea. Their next run of games, I'm not saying they're easy, but they're winnable. We look at it, they've got Norwich, winnable, away from home. They should win that, right? They got Norwich, which is on Boxing Day. And then they play on the 28th on Amazon Prime, so you can watch that game if you've got Amazon Prime. 12:30 versus Wolves. Winnable. At home. After that, well, I don't know. New Year's Day is going to be a good day. Hopefully, the Man City players have gone and had a bit of a party, because you know those guys have a bit of money and they like to party, right? So they play Man City at home on New Year's Day. Let's say we get a point from there, which it's been a while since we got some points off City. But let's say the next 2 games, I'll give us 9 points. That's brilliant. But then you look at West Ham, because they've got some games in hand as well. So West Ham, they've got to play Southampton. Spurs have to play Palace at home. Not bad. United's got to go away to Newcastle. Okay. And then also on the 28th, then West Ham's got to go to Watford. That could be a tricky game for West Ham. Really could. Spurs are going to go to Southampton. That could be a tricky game. So the games are stacking up in Arsenal's favour at the moment until we run into City. Then after the City game, it's been a while. It's going to be a while. Then on the 16th, oh my goodness, the 16th, Sunday the 16th, people. What a new year to begin, okay? Because on the 1st, we play City. Then, of course, a couple of games, and it's an international break, and then we come back, and then we play Spurs away. Wow. Okay. Then we got Burnley at home. Then we got Wolves away, and then Brentford at home. Okay, so those games I've read out. I think the 2 tough games there are going to be City and Norwich. I'm joking. Okay. I would turn around and say the tough games are going to be Spurs and United, 100%. Those are the tough games. They really are the tough games. And what's your thoughts, people? Again, what's your thoughts? I'm still waiting for the messages to come through. Out of all the games I've just mentioned, what is going to be the toughest game there? Is it going to be the Spurs game? Is it going to be the City game? Is it going to be the Norwich? Is it going to be the Wolves? Which game there scares you the most? Because if we can get, out of all those games, those are the 5 games I've mentioned, or 4 games I've mentioned, I would like to think we'll get another 9-10 points out of those. We don't lose any of those games. The one game I'm happy with to get a draw is going to be the City game. I would love for us to go and beat them, but City are just going to be on a different level going into January. They're just going to be up there, aren't they? Creasy's turned around and said all of them. All of them. What we're gonna win every game. Well, you know what? Or are you saying all the games are going to be hard, or all the games we're going to win? You got to clarify yourself. What do you mean all of them? So if Arsenal can, we can come out with 10 points, we still cement top 4, and then Chelsea have a wobble, and who knows? We could be in 3rd. If we're being 3rd and we're still in January, and with the players going off to the African Cups of Nations, which now if Aubameyang goes, so what? If Partey goes, you can go, okay, but we've got Sambi Lokonga who can step in and do something special. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see what Sambi can do. But apart from that, it's all in Arsenal's hands. It's all in Arteta's hands. Go out, strengthen the squad in the midfield, strengthen the squad up front. But it's going to be hard with COVID. It really is, because while players are going to go down, are any clubs now looking to sell players, especially good players, because of COVID? I've got COVID, and it's when you got isolated for 10 days, that's for a club, that's an eternity, isn't it? That's worse than a suspension. Because then that player who has COVID, if that player suffers really bad from COVID and they can't breathe and is struggling to train, I can't smell or taste. I walk up the stairs and then sometimes the pain afterwards is really bad. So imagine what it's like for an athlete who has to run for a living and has to be physical for a living, and you're out for 10 days. It could be more if you keep on catching it. That's tough. So Arsenal's going to have a bit of pressure in January. But if they're going to go for Vlahovic, I would rather offer up Pepe instead of a bit of money. Maybe give him 50 million plus Pepe. That could sweeten the deal, couldn't it? Because then they get a player plus 50 million up front. And worst case, I'll go 60 million plus Pepe. Get Pepe off the books. 60 million plus Pepe. I mean, that's... Why would Fiorentina turn that down? They get a player and 50 to 60 million. We get a striker. We get rid of one problem. Why not? But anyway, you guys have been good today. So thank you for tuning in. And thank you for watching. And thank you for the comments from Krisha. Really appreciate it. And I would just like to think that Arsenal are going to go on and do something great. But it all depends on these next 4 games. Norwich, Wolves, City, Spurs. The first 2 games, Arsenal should get 6 points. City, a point. Spurs, 3 points. That's 10 points. Get those 10 points. We're talking big. We're talking top 3. We're not talking like going for the league title. But then again, we make sure we beat Sunderland this Saturday. Sorry for the screen wobbling. That's me getting excited. We beat Sunderland this Tuesday coming. Semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Then we go to the semi-finals. We have to play 2 legs in Jan. Then dare I say Wembley? Dare I say another trophy for Arteta? Then the Boo Boys have to go back into their little cave and find something else to go wrong and say, see, he's not the manager. If Arteta wins another trophy, and bear it be their Carabao Cup, and so what? That's 2 trophies in 2.5 seasons. And gets us back into the Champions League. Yeah. You tell me you're going to be excited. Tell me all these Boo Boys are not going to be running down to the Arsenal shop and buying more merch. The same people that turn around and say they're not going to buy merch ever again and support the club are buying merch and then flaunting those merch. That's why you can't listen to these people. But you keep on listening to the frauds out there. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You know what? Arsenal are moving places, and it's time we get behind the team. It was a great victory yesterday, a great victory on Wednesday, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do on Tuesday. So make sure you tune in Tuesday. We're going to be live after that game to talk about it, the fact that we should be in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, about time too, and we go on from there. Have a great Sunday, people. Thank you for tuning in. Great to see you all again. And Tuesday, remember, we're going to go live after the game. So make sure you're there. Hopefully, if we could go live before, we'll go live before. But thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Have a great Sunday. See you later. Bye.